Welcome, and welcome again. Y'all, we was acting up before we went live. I'm so excited about today. It is time for the game changing moment of the day, and I get to do it with my sis. She is my sis. Ain't got nothing to do with the wealth part. We just sis right here. Freddie, Shantae, the one and only, in my mind, market structure queen. Freddie, our topic today. Before we get on topic today, let me tell y'all. Today I went 4 for 4. No, I went 4-1. HFX, money in minutes. I'm telling y'all what I did in an hour. It takes people 8 days to do. No, excuse me, 8 hours to do what I did in an hour. More than that, Freddie. Because wait a minute, hold on. No, what I did in an hour took people about 3 days to get that on
I
minimum
was gonna
wage.
back that up because we're compounding. So
Yes, I think what I did today in an hour. It wasn't even a full hour. Really, 30 minutes. People did in 3 days of work, and I did it in an hour. So listen. If y'all don't know about that HFX, we about to school you on it right now. I did it today. So, Freddie, today's topic is it really hard? Now you came up with today's topic, so I'm gonna let you lead the way.
well, I get a lot of questions about because of the platform that we're in. I get questions a lot of times people asking, is it hard? Is it difficult? You know, do you think this is something that I will be able to do? Do you think this is something that I will be able to grasp or to, catch on to? It looks hard, and a lot of times when people come into this space or they even look or they're doing their research and they're looking at, trading in the foreign exchange market, they become intimidated because they see, these graphs and lines and charts, and they become intimidated. And sometimes people are intimidated so much and so to the point that they never really try to take advantage of the opportunity, you know, out of fear because it just seems hard, you
Yeah.
know. So what oftentimes, I tell people, and this is what I would say to that is the answer is yes. But the answer is also that's a it's a twofold thing because there are a lot of things in life, that are hard. You know, we're on a track, we're on a wealth track, right? And it's every day is not going to be easy, roses and daisies. There are going to be some times that you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to take out the time to study and receive the information that you need to receive so that you can prosper and so you can meet your goals. You know, and to some people that putting in the work, I just say that uh, it's hard for some people. Putting in the work is hard. Going through the process for some people is hard, but there are a lot of hard things. I've had many different things that happened throughout my lifetime that I could say, it was hard, but I did it. Being a single parent, that's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you can attest to that. Um, Walking through that's hard. Going through sickness, not feeling well, every single day. That's hard. Um, I am on a track to doing something that I know is going to make days for me easier. So when you have wealth, when you attach wealth and you have wealth in your life, the one thing about it is, your hard times are hard, but you know, they're not as bad when you have, you know, wealth attached to your life. I mean, and a lot of people, don't, you know, realize that money, it really does make things easier.
Yeah.
Not that you won't go through things, but it really does make going through certain situations easier, you know. So yeah, it's definitely hard, but there are many things in life that are hard, but we get to choose our hard, right?
Yeah.
So
I, I think you know what, and so let me say this. I'm gonna kind of back up to what you were saying. So I get the pleasure. I'm in the car, as y'all can see, on a laptop. working. And what you mean? And so I say that to say this, that this space afforded me the opportunity. There's nowhere I can go that I can't participate in this opportunity. We're here on a lot. I'm not on my phone. I'm on the laptop. That I have the ability. My husband said, listen, I need you to route me somewhere. I said, let me grab the laptop. And I sat in the car and I can work. And so this space, even though I have businesses that afford me the opportunity to be mobile, this space really affords me the opportunity to be mobile. So let me say that first, because I think that some people, feel like maybe I have to be confined to this room and learn this space. No, literally, before we got on with you guys, we were talking about the market. We were talking about different things, and I was, asking questions. And so I think that you have to understand this space is really mobile. It really, 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 really is. Okay. The second thing I want to say is, I realized in saying things were hard, I had to look at the perspective of what it was. Because at the end of the day, sometimes we say things are hard, but is it really stretching us to another level? Because it doesn't feel good, it's never comfortable, but is it a challenge for me to get myself together? I think in this space, Fred, a lot of people feel that it's hard because they're not willing to sacrifice. You and I spoke about what Sunday night. We were on a Zoom meeting, and I'm like half sleep, you tired, we're tired, trying to not trying, but we're figuring out our schedules to say what sacrifices can I make to be in a position where I'm maximizing my time, because we're building businesses, right? And we're still getting trades too. And so I'm like, I need to get up in that London session. So I had to figure out, okay, how can I get some power naps in between? Because is it sacrifice? Yeah, I don't want to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Who want? I mean, I don't want to do that. Like if I had to choose to do it, but I'm making the sacrifice so that I can, like you said, Freddie, live a better life. So I think that it's hard because you're not willing to give up stuff. I use the example of food. Like we gave up potatoes. I mean, as part of a thing we were doing as a team, and I just kept it going. Like I haven't had a desire for French fries. Even if I tell you, Freddie was with me for the weekend, and she was eating fries, and I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm having fries. It wasn't hard anymore because I hadn't had fries in so long. It wasn't that serious to me, and so we need to have a level of sacrifice because, and we think sacrifice is such a bad word, but it's really not, because I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm looking at, am I going to set myself up for a better ending to my story? Am I going to set my family up so they're good? They're not worrying about how we're going to pay this, how we're going to deal with this. And so I think that, like you said, we choose our heart, and it's all about perspective. How do I think about myself when I'm going through this? It's all about, am I hungry enough to learn the skill? If I be honest, y'all, like, this stuff wasn't clicking. Like, I'm not trying to figure out what am I doing wrong. And Freddie, recently she was saying to me, you're not doing anything wrong. I just need you to enjoy the process of it, right? So I'm like, I don't know what I'm not getting. And so when we switched over to HFX, I was like, oh, snap, this is a different beast. But I watched all these videos, and me and her had a conversation. She said, well, what do you understand? And I said, this is what I understand. And she said, okay, well, right here, you need to do this. And then it started to click. So it doesn't like it happened overnight that I understood the space, but I got in a position where I'm learning the lingo, right? I'm around people who are talking about it all the time. And every day I'm going back in the charts and I'm listening and I'm putting it in my ear gaze. I love music too, but I'm listening to this throughout the day. I'm putting in my headphones as I'm walking. I'm putting it in my sleep process as I go to bed. And so that's how you learn things. And so I think, like you said, I think that when we say things are hard, we're either A, not up for a challenge, or we're B, don't want to sacrifice to meet our goals. It's one thing to wishing and praying. You can wish and pray all day, but you got to have activity. You got to work, period. Like, it's nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to fall out the sky.
Right. I mean that, and that you hit the nail on the head. Yes, lots of things are hard, but at the end of the day, you have to just be willing to sacrifice for what you want. You know, um, there are a lot of things in life. I can just go down a long laundry list of things, and if I had to put this in a category, I wouldn't necessarily put it in a category to say that this is harder than another situation that I had to make up my mind that I was going to walk through and have a certain perspective or a certain mindset about. It all boils down to mindset. And even with your trading, and I oftentimes, I'll tell the traders, I'll tell, the students, listen, it is more psychological than it is execution. Okay. If you can get yourself in a healthy place psychologically, to where you're winning and you're envisioning yourself in this place, then guess what? You're gonna win. You know, but if defeat is at the forefront of your mind, because that is what, a lot of people are used to, it's just like a cycle. Things may be going good and then they run into a brick wall, and when they run into obstacle, or when they run into some friction, it causes them to kind of backpedal and revert back to what keeps them comfortable. And don't get me wrong, I understand being comfortable. Jobs are comfortable. That's why you have 60%, of the world's population that are comfortable with working jobs. We talk about that, diagram all the time, but they do that because it's comfortable. They do that because they feel that there is more security in the fact that, well, I know at the end of this week or these 2 weeks, if I trade my time for my money, if I, you know, give up and sacrifice and not spend time home or whatever, you're willing to sacrifice so much for what you feel like is a surety that they're going to pay you. And a lot of times people are not being paid what they were, but they do it because it's comfortable, it's convenient. But in this space, if you want change, the thing about this space that I absolutely love is that this space is really for people that want change, not convenience, because there's a
Yeah.
difference. This is a space of change, and this is not a space of convenience. So if you're looking for convenience, if you're looking for easy, if you're looking for non-application, if you're looking for, a handout, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, of course it's going to be more difficult for you than it would be for someone else. So it does really boil down to the mindset of the person and how that individual, and if they're coming in this space and their thought process is like that, then they have that type of thought process, period. You can probably kind of trace that, along in their life. But I'm a fighter. I'm the type of person that if there's something in front of me and something that I have to accomplish, I'm going to accomplish. I'm gonna knock it down. I'm gonna be diligent and I'm gonna persevere. So that's
You the
just my.
fighter, and I'm you the fighter, and I'm the point prover. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna show you how this works. In my mind, and I'm serious. Like I'm like that. I'm like, okay, let me show you better than I can tell you. Like it has always been that mindset of mine. And then, like you said, you have to come into the space with a chess mentality, not a checkers mentality. It's all about strategy and strategically doing stuff. And so, what I love the dynamic of the space is that everything is it's so first of all, so many products, right? That it caters to you and what you like and what maybe works for you. And so it's like saying if you don't win in this space, did you give it all you had to try to win in the space? Because I think a lot of people who don't win in this space were playing checkers and not chess. They were gambling. They weren't serious about the education component. They weren't serious about learning the skill. They weren't serious about, I think your husband said it was a place of desperation. And so, but here's the thing, when you get to that place of desperation, there's times I've been there, but you can't make quick decisions. See, because you're coming from an emotional place. And so you have to really process. If I'm like desperate, I know something's a breakthrough for me. If you know that's the answer, then you won't sit there when things don't go away. It's almost like being married. If you get married and you say, "Oh, I love you," "No, I love you," "Oh, I love you," and you all love each other, right? You know how they do. And
Yes.
you sip, no, you sip. "Oh, babe, you hang up first, right?" What happens that day you had your first argument? You gonna quit? Like, no, we just gonna have this argument. And you're gonna get yourself together, and I'm gonna get myself together, and we're gonna come back to the table. And that's the reality of when you're looking at your dreams. There are gonna be days, like Freddie said, that are not your best days. Or you feel like, listen, this is not for me, I'm gonna quit. But the reality of it is when you get around the right people, you'll find that they'll push you to the next level. I told Freddie several times, I'm done with this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And she was like, no, we're going to walk through this and we're going to look at your notes and we're going to walk through, figure out how you can get it right. And you need that kind of support because I think no matter what it is, right? Let me say this very clear. No matter what it is, when you have the kind of support that will push you, even when you're like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm good on this. you'll realize, okay, no, it's destined for me to be here. But you got to be willing to say when the days are not great days, you're not going to sit here and quit. Like, I lost today. Oh, okay. Like I told my husband, like, listen, I probably blown more money on dumb stuff than I've lost ever. Okay. Stupid stuff, like stuff I didn't even need just to buy it. Where I now can multiply it in another platform. So I totally agree with you. Now, Freddie, you a fighter now. And now I can't tell your testimony like you tell it, child. Because child, I say all the time, I say, listen, and it's not a bad thing, but I be like, shoot, I'm going to get this doggone. And Freddie over here done battled it and was like, went to war and was like, listen, if I can do it, y'all can do, right? So I can't quit, child. Freddie don't quit, I can't quit.
No, I mean, it's a mindset.
Yeah,
I am when I have my sights set on something, and it does boil down to what people see value into.
yeah,
Sometimes I understand people come into things and they don't understand the value of what's in front of them. And then you miss great opportunity, and that's a very bad feeling to look back over your life and you can see there was a great opportunity right there, but I didn't understand it. I didn't see really the value in it. I let people talk to me that I wouldn't really switch bank accounts with, try to give me expertise about something that they don't know anything about, and kind of talk me out of, a place that could really, help me to grow, a place that could really help me to advance, a place that could really help me to learn, a place that could really help me to grow exponentially. And a lot of times, people don't understand that, or they'll do this. I've seen this a lot, and I've never been this type of person. I'm just so in my own little kind of world. But they'll say this, well, it's not working. Let me just see. If it's not working for you, then I don't believe that it'll work for me. Let me see how it works out for you. And
mm,
if you do well, then I'm going to approach it, and I'm going to attack it. Well, I just think that I've never had that thought process in my life. I've always been the type of person where I know there is something I'm able to trust my own gut, and we all
yeah,
have our own. God gives us. We have a God-given ability to be able to hear from God. We have an ability to be able to sense what's right for our own selves. I never
yeah,
let what track somebody else is on or whatever they're doing to determine how something is going to work out for me or how it won't work out for me. Maybe you did approach something, but then nobody ever asked the question, what was that person's work ethic towards that thing? You
yeah,
know, how what was that person's thought process towards that thing? We're individuals, we're different people. You may go try to accomplish something, you might not do that well, but just because you didn't do well at it does not mean that I won't. Because if when I haven't made up mind about something, how I approach it, I'm gonna approach it in a different way. We're
yeah.
all different. So I never measure my ability against someone else's ability.
That's good.
I don't understand that. I've never been that type. I want to see how well they do. We're different people, you
Yeah,
know. I want to see if they can accomplish that goal. We're different people, and them and an individual not being able to accomplish a goal has no bearing on your ability to be able to accomplish a goal. I went through so much, still going through a lot, with some things, as it pertains to just trying to tunnel through some things in my health. But I'll tell you one thing, I can say this, according to everything that happened to everybody else, well, I mean, I guess I can't ask that. I guess I don't have that because most of those people are dead. So if I were to measure, my body's ability against how somebody else dealt with something, I wouldn't be here. So I had a
that's
different
good.
mindset about how things were going to be for me. You're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to do that. No, I don't accept that. They may be dead. And they might not have been able, but for me, this
That's
is
good.
what I'm going to do. And I'm going to persevere and I'm going to attack every single thing.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, it's really a mindset. It's
I
really
love that, Freddie.
It's
I
really
love that because you just said like literally Sunday. I talked about that. We had a conversation with my husband and we were talking about. I said I'm so over people saying how much have you made, or they'll say let me see if it works for you first, and I'm thinking to myself, um. But what happened? How much time are you gonna waste not getting what's rightfully yours because you waiting on somebody else to see if it works for them? What if it don't work for them, or what if it that particular? And I'm only gonna use IM Master Academy. Let me say straight. We have at minimum I can round off 8 products right off the top of my voice right now. 8 products we have. There are people on our team who use products I've never used before, but that works for them, and I'm not, and I don't feel like I'm wasting anything or missing anything because that just ain't something I needed to try. I found my niche. I found what I like to do, and so that's what I stuck with. But what if I said, well, how much are y'all making with HFX? And they'd be like, well, I never did HFX. I would never try it. Like that's I don't understand that concept because you're missing out on your blessing. You're missing out on your dreams being fulfilled all because you're subjecting that to someone else's opinion or what their experience is, and you didn't even try it for yourself. They didn't say it was a bad experience. They said, listen, this is where I am. It's almost like I'm going back to that marriage conversation. I know plenty of people who don't come from two-parent households, who parents never been married, mama always been single, or their families have gone, all they seen is divorce. Who said your marriage not gonna work? So now you don't want to get married because about everybody else's experience. What if you're the catalyst for change when it comes to that? No different than I'm gonna say this too in this space. The things we talk about when it comes to money, if I didn't connect, I would never have these conversations. Not saying I don't have with my husband, but to the magnitude that we have them, that people are telling you what to do, watch out for what's going on. I don't think I would have ever gotten to this point. I don't think I would have been put in the room with people who are making real moves, making 7, 8 figures, talking about, listen, go on buy that thing now. I'm telling you, even if you get a little bit, like you get open to wealth conversations that you probably be like, I'd never had those conversations. Not to that level. I'm talking about down to who you should be banking with, like that level of conversation of how things move, that level of taking you into multi-million dollar neighborhoods that your baby, that you can grow that. I say baby because I love Jesus, but your baby will leap, like things that will change your perspective. This space, and that to me, money came by. Money came by. Relationships I've gotten over time. Like if I be honest, after my friend died, I would have been like, I'm good. I was good on this. Like I still paid my fee, but I was like, I'm good on this. But if what if I had quit for real? What if I disconnected for real? I wouldn't have the relationships I have now. I wouldn't be talking about the stuff I talk about because I decided it didn't matter if it wasn't working for anybody else. I know what this space could produce. And that's the thing too, Freddie, that I think sometimes we're so busy looking at someone else's success, we're not looking at what the blessing really is. We're looking at, well, if Freddie don't win in it, then I'm not going to win. So looking at, well, the space is the blessing, not Freddie, not Tish, not my husband, not anybody else, but the actual blessing itself. I don't pray. I'm about to get spiritual, child. I don't praise the blessing. I praise God. It's the same concept. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
that's so good. That is so good. I mean, just never measuring your God given ability or
Yeah.
never measuring what God has truly given you or who you are authentically as a person against someone else. I mean, I think that people, listen, you, you have to get out of these false loyalties, you know, and these in these places and spaces where, you know, these areas where you're so loyal to things and places, and it's causing you to miss out on what you're actually supposed to be walking to,
Yes.
you're actually supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, don't be loyal. Be loyal. Be a loyal friend. Be be a loyal person. Be a person of integrity, you know, but um don't be so rigid to the point to where opportunities are coming and things are happening, in your life, and especially now in a space in a time like this where you have a great opportunity to really take advantage of these times, and you don't move on it because of, well, if this person doesn't think that, this is probably right for me, then I'm just not going to move on it. That has really caused a lot of people to have, unfortunately, a lot of regret. But I'm just not one of those people. I don't look. I mean, God bless, you know, this person or that person, but I'm never going to measure my ability to be able to do something or accomplish a goal based on somebody else's ability or lack thereof to accomplish, a goal. I mean, I just think that when you do things like that, you sell yourself short. You sell yourself way short. So I do love um, being in a place and being in a space where I am encouraged to grow. I'm encouraged to continue to grow towards my purpose and to use this space, to gain the capital so that I
Yeah.
can invest in myself, and that's the big thing. What this space allows you to do is it allows you to get the capital because you got to have the capital. Capital is what helps to make the change. Capital, you look, money talks, people. And at the end of the day, I mean, it just does, you know. But being able to make moves and shift things around because you've been able to get the capital, that's going to be the thing to really help you go out here. And I know that everybody has different dreams, goals, aspirations, desires to change things in their communities. They have desires to change things in their families, you know, just on whatever level. But in order to really make significant change, we need to get that capital because there are a lot of things that I know that I want to be able to do. A lot of people that I want to be able to bless. And I know that if I had quit where I am right now, because y'all know I'm killing it on those. Look, y'all know I'll get on the charts and I'm just da 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 da. But you have to think if I had quit, there are so many people that, I got a list. I got a list of things that, when I reach certain milestones or goals, I'm going to be able to bless these people. You know what I'm saying? And I have that. And I'm going to be able to be a blessing to those, to those people. So it's very important to stay the course because somebody else is waiting for you to complete and to reach the goal so that you can release. You know, God has called you to be a blessing and to do things. So, I can't give up. I can't quit. I can't quit. I got some goals I need to reach and some people that I've been assigned to help and to bless. So I can't stop. I don't have options.
I don't have an option either, Chair. I don't have no options in this deal.
I don't
No,
have an option.
too many things to do to have the option. I want to say this too. Is this right here? We talked about how this is hard, and I'm gonna say this right here. Freddie, I will definitely want you to pick back on. This is something you and I came together and did. So we have this piece of our group called Classic Forex, and it's for everybody 60 and plus. And I know sometimes you get to a certain age and you're like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm too old to learn. Come on, I'm too old to learn. I'm trying to discover something new. These people in here are killing it. Okay, they
Yes, I love
hungry, they want to do it, and we get to serve them. It's just a pleasure to them. But so I want to tell you that we have things for everybody, and I'm just to watch them text us, "Oh, I made a trade," or "I won a trade," or "I'm learning, I'm understanding now." Or even when we broke something down to them, that they went through the videos and they learned something. When we mentioned some comments about it, they were like, "Oh, I never thought about it like that." And so I don't want anybody to feel like, "Oh, this is for the young people." This is for everybody. We're teaching children. We're teaching our seasoned people. This is for everybody who says, listen, I desire more. I remember working for Medicare. I remember hearing the beneficiaries, which is what they call them, say on there how they have to decide if they're going to eat or take their pills, or how they have to sell down their stuff that they've worked so hard for just so they can get assistance from the government. It's time out for that. It's time us for to show them how to make an additional income. And so I just that's my heart, one of my hearts. I got a mother that's gonna sign on. She's 76. I'm so excited for her. But I'm saying that it's for everybody.
it.
No one is too far in advance or too slow behind. You go at your own pace, and I think that's so powerful. Because you said, "Listen, I want the capital." Let me tell you something. I want to be the person to write the check. When someone says it's gonna be 6 figures, okay, write the check, and they be like, "You gonna finance? No, write the check." That's a power move. Like I'm telling you, power moves is when you can pay cash. Power moves is when you can invest somebody to get your real. Listen, people pay for their agenda, and I'm gonna leave it at that. People pay for their agenda. Period. Don't be confused. People pay for their agenda. I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave that right where it's at. You understand? It's what it
You
is.
you have to be strategic in how you move, throughout your life. That was something that I learned at a very young age, being strategic. And when certain opportunities are there, you know that those opportunities are not going to come around. And when it's time to make certain decisions, you have to make right decisions in certain places, especially at those pivot points in your life, those points where it can just really make or break some things, you know. And I remember when I was getting ready to do something like, well, I did serve, in the military. And like, well, no, you've been in the military, so they're probably taking care of you. Listen, and a lot of people get that misconstrued. You're military. You guys are military family. Sometimes they think that because you have a military tag on you, everything is all good and it's all right. You have no worries or anything like that. But a lot of people don't understand that's not necessarily the case. You know,
Absolutely.
um, but even with me, taking things to get out of the service, I was injured at the time, and when it was time for me to leave, they were wanting me to leave and not really uh, compensate me for what I should have been compensated for. I had some decisions to make, even in that moment, and I promise you, I did not leave the table without making sure that at that particular time in my life that I was going to have whatever I needed, you know, to be taken care of. It's about making decisions and hammering away at things and making sure that things are going to be right. Every time opportunity, every time things, there's been something presented or a situation presented, I've always been the type of person, okay, wait, this is a game changer right here.
Yeah.
This moment right here, I got to, this particular moment right here, I got to make sure things,
Yeah.
make sure I make the right decision about this particular moment. This moment is different than all these other moments, you know? So being
Right.
able to understand those pivotal moments in life is really being strategic about the decisions that you make is what really helps you to um, have the things that you need and walk through life more successfully. You're gonna have things are gonna happen. Yes, life is hard, but being able to um, make those critical decisions or make those decisions and not be rushed when it's time to make critical decisions and really think things through and really believe in yourself that you have the ability to do things no matter what's going on around you, no matter what's happening to the person to the right or to the left. You have to believe in you, and if nobody else does, you have to believe in you. And
You
that
know what I
belief,
say now? You
that
are your winner.
you are
You
your winner. That belief will materialize. Everything starts off as a thought. Okay, everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything starts off. I got my earrings. Somebody thought of these earrings before they. This is the earring. Okay, everything started out as a thought. Somebody was sitting one day dreaming and seeing this hoop, uh, you know,
it is
style of
okay.
earring in their mind, and it materialized. Everything starts off as a thought, in your mind. Everything starts off as belief. So when you start believing in yourself, and you believe, and you start to kind of cast down all those negative thoughts of, what, this is difficult, this is hard. Yeah, that goes without saying. Things in life are difficult and hard, but you have to really believe that, what, I can do all things. I'm capable of being equal to anything that comes my way. And you'll start to see your life change, and you'll start to see you'll start to see difference in your life. So I've tried to always, you know, make sure that I am moving down that path, and I keep belief, everything about belief, and I keep believing, and I keep speaking things into, into existence, and I try to make sure that, when it does get a little rough, or even when I was going through my process and didn't really quite understand initially, I just kept speaking that, yeah, I'm going to master these charts. I'm going to be a master trader. I'm going to understand these charts. One day I'm going to look at this stuff, even though my cognitive ability was kind of messed up in the beginning. I was like, I'm going to master these charts. I'm going to be able to look at this stuff, and I'm going to be able to know, what it means. And it materialized. And that's
That's it.
everything in life. This is no different than anything else in life. You have what you say, you know?
And you spoke it, but you also put in the work. See, that's the thing. We speak it. That's the first step, believing it. But you got to put in the work. I was sitting here as I'm fighting. You hear this? Your niece fight. I'm fighting this. Trying to watch that when stuff is in the car. I'm telling you, this. I mean, just to be in a position, just to be in a position where I'm able to sit back here with her and let her watch her show, and still have to be on the live, and she just wants the phone and do what she wants to do. I think it's just powerful because really, if we be honest, it's not the money. We just want our freedom back. We just want to be able to do what we want to do when we want to do it without having to struggle to do it. That's the reality of it. You want to be able to say that you've worked hard enough. You worked hard. I say hard, but you worked long enough. Where are the fruits of your labor? That's really what you want to have in life. You want to be able to take those vacations and bless those many people and make sure your children are straight when you leave this earth. And so I just believe in my heart that this is the avenue to do it. I really do. I mean, and I love, like I said, I'm the first to say I love my businesses. I love every client, that blesses me to allow me to serve them. But when I needed an avenue that was going to multiply me and not be in a position where I had to give up more of my time. See, because I remember a time I used to travel by myself. Now I can take the whole family and they just enjoy, the fruits of my labor. Everybody is not able to do that. And so I'm so honored to sit at the table with you, Freddie, because I would have never sat at the table if I didn't get connected to this opportunity. Because people don't realize that it connected so many of us in ways we didn't realize we were connected in the spirit. You know what I mean? And this avenue was used for us to come together. So it starts with your mind. It starts with your thought process. Everything is as hard as you make. You choose how hard it's going to be. You choose your attitude through the process. Because you can say, oh, this is hard, and it becomes hard. You can say, listen, I can master this. This is a mastery area for me. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna understand, and it's not difficult to me. And every day you building up, like Freddie said, your confidence to make it happen. So, sis, unless you have some final thoughts, I'm excited. I'm gonna tell you this right here. You want to get connected. Period. You want to get connected. We are in the us this because I can name off products, right? I can tell you pretty much each one of them do, right? But I just love HFX and it's money in minutes, and I love it because it's just a different beast. I mean, like I told you when we first started, I got in this. I was what people make probably in 3 days, working 8 hours a day on average. I did in 30 minutes while I was sipping my water, while I was eating my lunch, while my daughter was sitting in front of me in her pack and play watching Duck McStuffins, while I was at the same time switching my notes over 30 minutes of my day. And I'm done for the day. I didn't get back on the charts because, again, it becomes a discipline because trading can become addictive, but it became a discipline where I knew when I was over, I was done for the day. And I won't go back in until tomorrow morning. And so I did that. Just saying.
No, it just makes me happy because I know that I'm going to crush, you
My
know,
goals in
oh,
record time.
you know,
In record
I love it because
time.
I love it. I'm retired one time, medically from the military, and I said the second time that I'm able to retire, I had a date on it, and I was able to reduce that time frame, by being able to be, in this space, and I didn't have to even look at um, being in a workforce is not even a thought in my mind, nor does it even have to ever be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I wish, and it has nothing to do with anything military because, inflation is a beast.
It
Okay.
is.
Sometimes when you calculate all that stuff, sometimes what you get, or what maybe the government may give you, it isn't, it isn't what people think that it is to cover everything that you have coming at you. So being able to be in this space, I don't have to even think of the workforce, as it's not an option. It's not a thought. It's not something that I think about. That's a memory now to me. The workforce is a memory to me. And this space made it possible. And because I'm in this space, it can remain a memory. I don't have to ever worry about ever thinking about, having to, um, you know, punch in to build somebody else's dream. Because you're
Right.
only going to be on one side of the spectrum or another. Either
That's
you're going
right.
to be building something for yourself or you're going to be leveraged and used to build something for someone else. And I get to be in a space where I'm actually able to build for myself. And
Hey.
you can't put
So
a
for
price on that.
Hey, so Freddie, tonight we have a lot. We're doing freedomandminutes.com, right? 6 o'clock
Yeah,
East,
freedom
well,
and
6 o'clock Central,
minutes.
so that's 7 o'clock Eastern, right?
Yeah, you guys come join that because you'll actually get to see a live trade and see how
Yeah.
we actually crush this stuff in record time.
So Freedom in Minutes, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, Freedom in Minutes. Just like I said, at freedom, N-I-N, minutes.com. That's tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, and then 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. I don't know if we have live conversation. We're gonna be on helping families movement.info. Me and my other well sis Jackie, we're going to stream it to Facebook, so we'll probably start some watch parties so you can watch it. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but when we get together, I don't know what it is when we get together. Like, it just, we show out, yeah, we just be showing out. But we're all about seeing other people live the freedom and experience the freedom that we see. Like I just told you, my husband told me, run with me somewhere, and I got in the back of the car. Chloe has his phone watching Doc McStuffins while I'm on a live with you all. I'm telling you, I can't make this stuff up. I'm just excited that I can live a schedule that I can maneuver and everyone is happy, including me. So definitely check us out tonight. Freedom in Minutes, 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Central. I know I'm going to be there. And of course, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central, Helping Families Movement. Dot info will be on tonight talking about this awesome space and how it's blessed all of us. We all have a story, we all have a journey, and I'm telling you to hear the stories, the blessings that this space has created for some people is so impactful. Like I always say, the money is great, but really all you want is the freedom, all you want is the relationships. And this space has afforded us to connect the people around the world that we never knew we've connected to. This is for everyone, no matter how young or how seasoned you are. So don't count yourself out that this space is for you. My love, my sis, you got anything else you want to share with the people? Oh, my one thing before I forget. So September 28th through the 30th, I will be back in, I call it my second hometown. Uh, really, we lived in Newport, but we're gonna say Havelock, North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina, and y'all, guess what? Freddie gonna be with me, y'all. I'm so excited. Her another one of our well is coming through. I love them. They just don't understand what they do. This right here, but they're gonna come. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna be talking about this opportunity, and not just that. Let me tell you what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be doing some live trading. We're gonna have a trade house, baby. I'm so excited. So we're gonna be there 28th through the 30th. Come through, hang out. More information is coming out, but we're excited to be there. But again, we'll see everybody eat at the table and have a great time. Freddie, you got any final thoughts before we go?
No, just get connected, guys.
Get connected. Get with the person that shared this watch party with you, the person whose page you're watching. If it's Freddie's page, definitely connect with her. If it's my page, connect with me. I'm excited to have you so that we can help you crush those goals in record time. Remember to do life on purpose.